Okay, so I'm really happy now because we're at the final step, step 6 of creating the controller. Whew, almost there, almost there. Alrighty, so the one thing I want to do here is create a new package for a controller. And now in this new package, I'll go ahead and create a new Java class for a checkout controller. Alrighty, so here's my checkout controller. I need to do a couple of things up top. Set up support for the cross origin. We've been through this drill before with creating REST APIs. And then we'll set up our @REST controller annotation and also set up the base request mapping for this controller. And then remember, with our application architecture, we need to make use of a service, in this case, our checkout service. So I'll go through the normal drill here of injecting that checkout service using the constructor injection here. And then just remember, we could put auto-wired, but it's not required. It's optional in this case because we only have one constructor. So Spring will automatically auto-wire that service in for us. Alrighty, let me stretch out a little bit here at the bottom, give myself some room to work with. So we know with our API, we're going to have post mapping for /purchase. So this method will return a purchase response. The JSON will come over in the request body. And so I'll assign that here to this purchase data transfer object that we created a little bit earlier. And now the coding here is really simple. All I'm going to do is simply delegate this to my service. So I'll make use of checkout service dot place order, and I'll just pass over the purchase. So that'll return this purchase response, and I simply return that via the REST API. So it'll take that purchase response, send it back as JSON, and we're all good to go. And one other thing I'll do, just a little bit of housekeeping stuff here. I'll upgrade to the current version of Spring Boot because I've been using the same version for a while now, and I should probably just catch up with what they have. So, of course, this all changes with every version, right? So by the time you watch it, they'll probably be on a totally different version of Spring Boot. But I'll just kind of update what I have for right now. The best way I go about this is just going to the spring.io website and seeing what the current version number is. So Spring Boot is currently at 2.4. And again, this will totally change by the time you watch it. They have a very aggressive and fast release cycle. But I'll use the 2.4. And also to get the right version number, I'll do a little explore here and note version 2.4.0. So starting with this version, or maybe even the previous version, they changed their scheme for versioning here. So make sure you use exactly what they have. The important thing here is that they dropped the .release with this version and future versions. So just be aware of that. So just make use of that little generate feature to see exactly what the version number is, and you can drop it in here. All right, so I have that in 2.4.0. And then I simply do a Maven update over here so it can pull down all the latest stuff from the POM. And if you notice here at the bottom, it says it's resolving dependencies. So the IDE is actually loading or downloading the latest version to our local Maven repository. Depending on your internet speed, this may take a while. But anyways, at the final point, it's all done. One thing to be aware of, you may still see the version number in a different color. You can safely ignore this. The application will still run. We could still run the eCommerce app and it'll be up and running with no problem. So just move past that. All right, so this looks pretty good. So in the next video, we'll actually run this and see if it works. Oh yeah.